What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back for another Walking Dead video. This time for Daryl Dixon Season 2, The Book of Carol. Still quite the mouthful, but as we know, The Ones Who Live is over. Whether or not it's over for good, that we still don't know. If you ask me, it had a pretty satisfying ending, but then again, there is still the open-endedness that it did have and the reunions that we still want to see with other Walking Dead characters. But as far as Rick getting home to his family, they did that part right, and we can sleep well knowing that Rick is home safe with his kids, and we could possibly see him return. We just don't know yet, and they're staying pretty tight-lipped about it. But in this video, I want to go over the teaser and the sneak peek of Daryl Dixon Season 2 that we got yesterday after the finale of The Ones Who Live, and just kind of dissect it a little bit, talk about it, what we could see in this season as far as the journey of Carol making her way to France to find Daryl and what Daryl's still going through over in France, and just talk about Walking Dead in general. And yeah, so let's jump into the pictures that we got for our teaser trailer from yesterday. So in this first one, we just get the opening of the trailer. Then we have Daryl and Isabel at this overlook point with the sun rising or setting, I'm not sure. But we have them just sitting there talking about how Daryl was someone from America that came over here looking for something, and you know, the usual spiel that we got last year. But then we get this really gorgeous shot of the nest with the sun setting in the background, and just it's really goes to show what they're putting into the budget as far as the scenery and the locations that they're using for the show. It's really just stepped up from what we've seen previously. Then we got Daryl and Laurent here gearing up for something, because Daryl's packing that what looks like a double barrel shotgun or some kind of older type of gun, because we did see that in last season they didn't really have a whole lot of newer automatic type weapons. They had a lot of these old style guns. But then moving on, we see Carol here, and I believe that they're going to waste no time getting her to Paris, getting her to France, whatever. And this is her in France after finding this boat and kind of getting to a point where she is a little discouraged maybe, or just a little more worried than she already was, because she sees this boat washed up and she thinks that maybe this could possibly be the one that Daryl came over on, because I don't think she gets the full story from when she visits that trading post that we'll go over to. But this is her maybe following another dead end. I'm sure she's going to follow a lot of different leads to see where Daryl is, and this is probably just one of those situations where she gets there and it's not what she wants it to be. And then we just get her again, just kind of having this look of hopelessness maybe, or just a disappointment. Then we get her here. We got the journey continues, and we got these strangers in this video, or in this shot. We don't know who these are. We don't know if these are throwaway characters like we did see in The Ones Who Live, even though a couple of them we would have really liked to see survive, but it just didn't turn out that way. But I'm sure they'll have some characters that maybe make it through maybe even part of the season or the whole season, but I'm sure we'll also get characters that are just there to be part of the story briefly, and then they'll get killed off somewhere or another. Then we got Carol here lining up with the crossbow. Then she takes out a walker, and then we have a shot of Falou, Isabel, and Laurent, and I believe this is the nest, and they're being attacked by something, because we do have some shots of Madame Genet. She is still a threat. She is still out there causing trouble. So we'll probably see the other half of the focus being shifted at her, because obviously this is going to be about Carol getting over to Daryl and figuring out how they're going to get home. And I'm not sure if they're really planning on getting him home this quickly, because they are, I believe, planning for at least a couple more seasons. Then we got Daryl here lining up a shot. Then we got this guy. I can't remember this guy's name. I want to say this is the guy that's introduced himself at the nest, who said that he came over to Paris, or to France, sorry, and as a student or something, and he just got stranded over there, maybe? Or he decided to stay there, because I swear he said that he got there in the 90s, but just a situation where he ended up staying there, and then everything happened and he never went back home. He was actually someone from Jersey, I believe. Then we got Carol here, aerial shot of her riding the bike that we've seen in a couple different trailers, and then just a forward shot of her. And then that's it for the trailer. It's just a quick little teaser, and then we get our sneak peek, which is just a couple action-packed sequences. We have this opening shots of this abandoned area. Then we see this guy up in the window kind of signaling, and it's Daryl that he's signaling, and they're setting up an ambush. And what's really surprising, as this caravan's coming through, this caravan contains Madame Genet. So they're really going to go after her, and I don't know if they're going to kill her quickly or she's going to be an ongoing threat through the season. But we see this caravan coming through, and then the truck that she's in, because they had set up a trip mine but it didn't go off, and then Daryl just jumps out and starts shooting him, and he takes out the driver and causes the car to flip. And so we now have Madame Genet in this situation where she's trapped in this truck, and they bring out the rest of their little troops and everything to save these people that have apparently been kidnapped at some point or another. I don't know if they actually know them, and Daryl just steps in to help them because Daryl's just that type of guy. He doesn't leave people behind. And then we get a jump back to the States where we see Carol roll up on Daryl's bike because we know that she took it back from the guy that had traded for it or whatever at this trading post, and she recognizes it, so she takes it back, gets him to tell her where he got it, and she goes back to the trading post and confronts the people that we've seen from last season who are responsible for getting Daryl in the situation that he's in. She questions, hey, can someone fix the transmission on this bike? Just kind of really leading a ruse, giving this kind of sweet little grin that she does, and really playing off the innocent type, and these guys are really unsuspecting of what she's capable of. And then this guy who's working on this car says, well, I don't know anything about bikes, and this kind of turns around and ignores her and says, what about the guy who owned it before so-and-so? And he asks one of these other guys that kind of walks out of nowhere, and this guy's packing a crossbow, and she knows immediately that's Daryl's. So she kind of still keeps up this act for a second until she approaches the car where the guy set the crossbow down, grabs it, aims it at these guys, and tries to get answers out of them. So it's a really quick sneak peek, of course, but it really builds it up. I'm really excited for this next season of Daryl because the first one proved to be way better than I thought it would, and it had a lot more story than I originally thought they could really do, and just the way that they went about Daryl being over in France and the things that he's going through, the people he meets, and unraveling this mystery of these experiments that they're doing on walkers and the variants we're coming across. So I'm really excited for this next season. It's scheduled for summer, but whether that's early or late, that's still unknown at this moment. I think in my last Ones Who Live video, I had mistakenly mentioned or mistakenly quoted or whatever that it was going to be out in May, but that's not the case. I was thinking of another show. We don't have a premiere date for this yet. We don't know if it's going to be here in the next couple months or not till late August, September time frame, where as they're working on Dead City Season 2, we won't have such a long gap in between our Walking Dead content, because right now Dead City was delayed pretty badly from the strikes from last year, so they're just now getting into filming. So anyways, just really excited for the show, ready for some more Walking Dead after we got our mostly satisfying ending to The Ones Who Live. I'm hoping that we get some more. There's talk of it, and I think they're open to it at least. But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed the breakdown, be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, and of course, subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. Help me make that push to 1,000 subscribers, and I will see you on the next one, guys. Take care. Bye.